Cool. Good morning. I thought the desert is warm. It's a little chilly this morning though, so it'll warm up. So we'll get used to it. So welcome. I know a lot of you guys have been here before. It sounds like half and half, maybe. So as John mentioned, we sponsor a ton with Media Posts. So about 15 events is the premier sponsor a year over the last 5 years. This one, retail, is definitely near and dear to my heart. I've been on the client side for 15 years, leading top internet retailers as well. So been on your side of the table, and also built the performance practice at IPG for Reprise and as well. So I have a lot of interesting perspectives around that, but wanted to really dive in today, spend a few minutes with you guys, plant some seeds. And really, it's challenge everybody to think differently and really get outside of your comfort zones. Not just on fun things like activities. If you're horseback riding, I haven't been horseback riding since like fifth grade when I was 10. So scaring the shit out of me to do the horseback riding today. But we'll do that. That'll be fun. But also for business, right? There's a lot of trends going on right now. We'll go through some of the predictions. We actually took some content that we were going to share at Shop Talk next week, and because of our relationship with Media Post and really, again, from a retail side, we wanted to share that first here. So we're going to go through some stuff pretty quickly. Grab us over coffee or cocktails later. Certainly can talk deeper around some stuff, but we can go ahead and dive in. As John mentioned too, we do own ad.com. We own monetize.com on the publishing side of the business, several different companies. But we're going to talk about kind of beyond the checkout, beyond the box, right, if you will, this morning, and really go through some trends around AI, consumer changing behaviors. What does that look like with hyper personalization across the ecosystem as well, which is really key. But AI, I think is anyone cool if we do AI as a drinking game? We'll use water today, not alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. We'll probably hear it quite a few times. I couldn't leave home without it. But some overall trends that we can talk through, again, from an e-commerce growth perspective. Sure, COVID helped accelerate transformation across many companies, both pure play, but also very mature brands. We work with kind of the who's who, typically Fortune 300 brands across every vertical. Retail is one of our top verticals. But really kind of looking through 2019, again, this is, and we're seeing anywhere from, this report is 21% of overall business will be e-commerce as well. And really that number in different countries is accelerated well beyond that, right? I think the US in some regards is about 5 to 10 years behind several countries, especially talking about mobile adoption, e-commerce adoption as well. But there's a lot of rising pressures, right? A lot of times when we're sitting in meetings with teams, it could be CMOs of the largest brands in the world. There's always the question of what's the path to profitability at scale, right? It's easy to drive traffic. It's easy to drive revenue. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of pressures in place, not just from a product perspective with tariffs, with inflation of products and R&D, but with media inflation as well. And this is something that's not really talked about much from the industry. And really because there's still over-reliance and oversaturation on really 2 to 3 major vendors in the industry, right? And so when you look year over year, though, media CPCs have been elevated every year. When I was client side, I personally spent about $250 million just on search alone. CPCs never go down year over year when you model the business. They've always gone up, and they're going up at accelerated rates right now on major engines. And so that's, again, a real thing of how do I diversify, the need to diversify, again, for profitability. And then also, how do you balance that with very cost-conscious consumers right now, right? So if we're heading into a downturn in the economy or rising prices with products, consumers are very sensitive towards price as well. A lot of our clients do price elasticity tests. And really, when you talk about decisions, they're still going to sort by price. Price or value might be a major contribution for their decision making, but also experience is changing. And so, as advertisers, really kind of hyper personalization, right, is absolutely mainstream right now. How are people doing that? Again, utilizing AI, utilizing a lot of shopping behaviors, search behaviors, etc. Past purchase behaviors. Supply chain transparency is something that has been a hot topic as well. Of sourcing of products has been a big thing, especially for Gen Z, Gen X. Um, as well as kind of social commerce, right? Which means people are buying products wherever they see them in context, right? So they could be reading articles, consuming behaviors, buying on TikTok, buying on video products, doing buying it again through even just search, right? No longer as a paid ad, but you have now everything sprinkled into SERP results as well. So again, people want to be touching, feeling, if you will, experimenting products even in a digital environment. So that's also something that has been picking up a lot of steam. But some predictions really for this year as well, and there's well beyond 10, obviously, that we can kind of talk and share about. But these are just a couple for you guys to take back. Think about kind of match up to test and learn plans or testing objectives for the year. I would definitely suggest, again, multiple, 3 minimum, to test and learn against, and have that mentality, right, to try something new, right? And if it doesn't work, then find out and understand why, right? What was a recipe? What was a test design? As well with inside of that. So again, some of these, we power a lot of again, smart shopping ads as well, not just within search, but contextual environments. Actually, we have the patents on contextual.com as well as remarketing.com as well. But as far as ad.com, and again, you'll see us here around the event. How do we kind of fit into the ecosystem? My team actually said it's over 1,000 combined hours of retail experience, which is a really big number, right? So, again, we have a diverse team, a global team. We actually just bought an office in Chicago, so strong presence there. We believe in the power of people. We don't believe in forcing people to physical office environments. We'll actually tap the people wherever they are around the world. A lot of us are former Googlers, Amazonians, Yahooers, IPGers, etc. So it can go very deep with, again, understanding the businesses that we're trying to solve business problems with. And at the end of the day, we're a performance-driven company at our heart. Everything is cost per click based, full funnel activation, right? We believe in letting dollars float to what's performing the best ultimately. Not just based on an emotional decision, not just based on a CMO's relationship either with a particular vendor. And there's still some of that legacy thinking out there, which I believe needs to get changed. And it slowly is getting kind of challenged and changed in a positive way as well. But just some overall case studies, and we can kind of, again, share a lot. We have 100 plus case studies, just kind of publish them all to the world, but just a couple. A top footwear brand, top beauty brand as well as omni-channel retail study as well. And so a lot of these use cases were what I talked about earlier about efficiency gains, right? How do we unlock? How do we be more efficient? How do we provide more ROI at the certain spend? So how do you do more with less ultimately? Is what a lot of it boils down to. So, but again, we're providing profitability at scale across our ecosystem. Happy to, again, talk more about that over the next few days. But one of the other things too, is we believe in, again, people coming together, solving problems that are, sometimes super complicated. But it's also, we're in a relationship business. That's why we're here, right? That's why we choose to sponsor things with Media Post. We also have our very elevated client summit in Dorado Beach, Puerto Rico at the Ritz-Carlton Reserve, where we close it down for 4 days in middle of September and really roll up our sleeves and bring together some of the brightest minds throughout digital media, paid search, a lot of CMOs as well. So I think we had about 140 people come together last year. We had about 5 times that apply to come. Again, if you're a brand and interested in that, please let us know. But have fun. Again, think out of the box, get out of your comfort zones, be open to testing as well. Again, at the end of the day, we're all going back home on Saturday. Monday, again, I'd recommend, again, we'll share this deck, but I'd recommend like walk away with 3 to 5 solid ideas that you can drop onto a testing plan, right? And have deeper conversations, because the path to profitability is not always easy at scale, right? Especially in the retail setting with physical stores, right? How you offset that from an e-commerce digital perspective, right? But yeah, some of the folks I wanted to just acknowledge that are here on our team, Melissa is here, Nicole, and Charles. So grab these guys. Again, grab coffee. Again, we're in the people business ultimately, helping people reach more people. It's really that simple. We can complicate it as much as we want with AI and with technology and data, as well as media. But at the end of the day, again, we're simply here for a short while, helping people reach more people to make an impact. So have fun. Thank you guys for your time this morning.